We need to figure...
Saga was back at Cauldron Lake. Saga had to pursue Nightingale. Into the overlap. Finding a way in would be difficult. A ritual. Saga would learn how. Stop the monster.
There's no rational explanation to what we just saw.
I'd love to blame this on mass hallucination caused by inhaling volcanic gas, but we both know that's bullshit. This was supernatural.
Well, I'm glad you were the one to say it. Now we can figure out a way forward. Right before things got crazy, Sheriff Breaker just vanished.
Maybe the sheriff knew more than he was letting on.
He seemed anxious, like he dreaded what was coming. One more mystery. The victim of a ritualistic murder turns into a monster. Is there a connection?
Looks to me like the cult of the tree is performing... create monsters.
Maybe. We need to start with learning this cult's goal. Their purpose. It's not opening. Must be locked from the other side. A dead man turned into a monster. Light as a way to fight him. Pages predicting the future. There's no rational explanation. This is the case we must solve. We're dealing with an organized group of killers, not a lone serial killer. The cult of the tree is behind these murders. This case just became much more complicated. I'll need to start a new file. But it's my first cult case. Exciting. I need to know more about the Cult of the Tree if I'm going to shut them down. Nah. Keep trying.
The killers are usually the ones performing the ritual, not the detective. Acting out their sick fantasy. They may be trying to get you involved, forcing you into their twisted world.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale, gone missing here 13 years ago. Now he had suddenly turned up, only to be murdered in a brutal ritual on the very day of their arrival. And then there was the page. This page, the first page that they had found, not the last. The first step down into terrifying depths. Secret truths trembling beyond the threshold. Reading the words, these words, felt like a message. Was a message. Someone knew they were here. What they were doing. Someone playing a game with them. Leading them on. An invitation. How could they not accept? The sheer audacity of this impossible mystery presented to them. Even if they knew it would end up hurting them.
This could contain clues about the cult. Better keep an eye out for more.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale, gone missing here 13 years ago. Now he had suddenly turned up, only to be murdered in a brutal ritual on them. Saga was back at Cauldron Lake. He was there too, Nightingale. Was, but wasn't a Taken, a creature of darkness. He was beyond her reach, where some other strange reality, the Dark Place, merged with ours. This place and the Dark Place, a tarp thrown over top, drowning everything beneath it, a flood of darkness, soaking into everything, spoiling it, rotting it. The page called this area an overlap. Saga had to pursue Nightingale into the overlap. Finding a way in would be difficult, required precise steps, a ritual. Saga would learn how. Stop the monster before he killed again. Her job, he'd be inside, waiting for her.
Doesn't make sense. The page places Nightingale back at Cauldron Lake. Calls him a Taken. We need to head over there, stop him, before anyone else gets hurt.
Okay.
We heard gunshots. Y'all okay?
Did you get spooked by the bodies?
Sheriff Breaker disappeared. Nightingale turned into some sort of a monster, and there are offices down. You two handle things here. We need to get back to Cauldron Lake immediately.
Fuck me. That's terrible. We'll do what we can, man.
That's crazy, right, Thornton? Nightingale's heart was missing. How could he do anything? He's dead.
Yeah, right. Well, that's all.
They're a fine pair.
Yes, I can go down. Take a million in my hand. Use the word that keys you can. Can apply use the laughing. Now I'm laughing. My grandma she love me. She ain't getting no young. Niggas acting like they wish. Tell your back up to them nothing. Like the coldest nigga out. I got permanent on. There was times I needed help.
Nightingale and his
Doing
people are dangerous.
I ain't trying to
We need to be prepared in case things escalate more than they already have.
Nigga,
When you're fully in,
A smart choice.
I tell you, your feet so you get this big dog. I make sure I feel like all your feet was terrible way to go.
Think we'll actually find Nightingale at the lake?
the pages haven't been wrong yet.
We can't assume the person writing these pages isn't playing us.
I agree,
I'm done.
but it's our best lead.
Recipe. I got niggas who like double niggas blind on. These niggas shooting at these kids, they shooting blind. Say recipe.
Oh no, dude, damn. You keep asking stupid questions. Anthony keep asking stupid questions, and then you already know that Kevon did.
They keep saying recipe. I keep seeing you.
Oh, you know.
Keep popping up on my YouTube.
Oh, you keep reading the comments.
That's because I'm done. I got niggas who like double niggas blind on. These niggas shooting at these kids, they shooting blind for. I got blood in my hands, it ain't mine, oh. And I got niggas in the trenches who I die for. Got a murder that's unsolved, get my bag on. If all them still be right here, if he take his mask off. Nigga think it's murder, still unsolved. They say I still can't do no show, in Chicago. That's why I'm a charger, for constant. When I'm done with that gun to your palm, I'd rather do 100 years to see my mom. Before you say I left you late to the one, tell them back to me, tell them back. I wonder what was on the mind for that time. All this XC, I cannot see. Watch it go, start off with some bleed. I'm a Dirk and I'll be representing the trenches. Steady running from the death, you have a visit. I regret I caught that case, I had a witness. And when I'm talking to the streets, I bet they listen. I was that bad on my dick, they ain't paying attention. Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came. And I can't go like me to the hallway. I'd rather go out the night, we gon' stick them all.
His name does keep popping up. Next time, give them to me before we find ourselves in the heart.
They like, I put the fame in this shit. That's why I got the streets, man. Smoothie G's Rise to Fame is one of the most compelling stories that we have covered on this channel. From catching his ops lacking at the gas station,
Return to
with half of
the
Chicago,
art.
Smoothie G is an extremely talented rapper with an alleged 6 bodies under his belt. While he
Figure out exactly what that means.
And on this part,
In Chicago. Let's start looking for Nightingale where he was killed. The writer of these pages knows what will happen. Because they're behind this.
why the heck you got my gun out?
Impossible things are happening here. A world operating
Hold
on
on.
different rules. I need to understand this strange logic. To see the clues. To solve the case.
Meet
Ah,
the bloodhound Lil Jeff of Alabama. This guy is the real definition of a serial. Damian McDaniel had been charged with 11 different and 28 different attempted hats. On July 13, 2024, Damian would find out his ops was celebrating a birthday in a hookah lounge. He would come through and spray the whole thing up, leaving 4 and injuring 10 others. His 5th hat was on August 13th. He would break into a 61-year-old man's house and him and leave him. He would catch 4 more hats on September 21st. He would find out his ops were eating out of this restaurant. Damian would waste no time and cover up the whole restaurant, leaving 4, 17. Y'all think Buddy gonna catch the chick? Meet the bloodhound Lil Jeff of Alabama.
He's in town on important government business.
It looks like the feds are close to solving this triple murder in Milwaukee, and they're pointing the finger at bloodhound Lil Jeff and was allegedly paid for this hit. See, back in March 2022, 3 men were found in execution style.
How did you hear about the murder, Elmo?
Everybody swore Lil Jeff was gone, but he just popped back up like nothing happened. Did you know Bloodhound Lil Jeff is actually still alive? After catching his 13th body, Jeff had a wild habit, snatching the chains of the people he took out. But that move came back on him. One day, the brother of one of his victims, Trap City Rock, went hunting for that chain. When he found Jeff, he didn't hesitate. He let off shots, hitting Jeff 19 times. People thought there was no way he survived. But recently, Jeff shocked everyone by posting a TikTok saying they thought I was dead. That's why I didn't text people back, like this video. Everybody swore.
The house bloodhound Lil Jeff got tucked in front of him. Is now officially a tourist attraction site, and fans have been coming from all over the world just to see Hunk's famous port. One fan would record it in POV from the same spot Q50 did the split, and even took this pic in front. That's very nice. According to the rules and regulations of its tourist attraction, you can only look from afar, because if you step foot in the first step, you might get done. Big Blue himself. Even though Hunk is locked up, he's still got the UAV watching classified, I'm afraid. 24/7. Would y'all visit Hunk's famous port? The house bloodhound Lil Jeff got
Operations are run by a different department. I'm just here to make some repairs. The wiring on this thing frays every couple months.
Yep, that's the raccoons. They grow real big here with teeth like you wouldn't believe. Can all right through a garbage can.
My mother made this sweater for me.
This is how Bloodhound Jeff caught his final body. Just days after signing.
To knit those sweaters for me and my brother. Watery. My own town was founded by Finnish immigrants. So between your name and the sweater, I figured your family might be from Finland too. Suomi, Finland.
My mama started. I dumped a drink out. That's from my crib. My mama stopped me for the drink. She said,
I don't know much about him beyond that.
Big motherfucker like a
Just something to remember her by.
He said,
Well,
dude.
I need to get back to it.
He said you're killing people like cars.
The feds just leaked this incriminating Instagram live after Monty and Lil Ron. Bloodhound Lil Jeff would go live to update people and let them know this was the consequences for playing with him.
that shit be the worst. 30 seconds of fame, just to read ceremonies, and I be trying to tell you, this shit don't be working. The whole city can tell if they ain't do shit, they walk out that door, that was the worst thing, worst option possible. When they got me go, I'm driving for I'm bouncing, I'm shooting all that split.
The feds just leaked this incriminating Instagram live after Monty and Lil Ron. Bloodhound Lil Jeff would go live to update people and let them know this was the consequences for playing with him.
That shit be the worst. 30 seconds of fame, just to read ceremonies, and I be trying to tell you, this shit don't be working. The whole city can tell if they ain't do shit, they walk out that door, that was the worst thing, worst option possible. I'm driving, I'm bouncing, I'm shooting all that split.
He said you smacking it. Yeah, tech.
Did you know Bloodhound Lil Jeff is still alive? Because
that was funny, bro. The way you see killing people.
everybody swore Lil Jeff was gone, but he just popped back up like nothing happened.
There's another lunchbox.
When drilled, the weapon makes the rapper. Lil Jeff was known as King Draco. He lived and died.
King Draco? Who calls him Draco?
Once you get a taste for something different. When drilled, the weapon makes the when drilled.
Let's get to your side,
The
Casey.
weapon makes the rapper. Lil Jeff was known as King Draco.
Oh, he's King Draco.
He lived and died with that stick. Leaf Ward stayed with the switch, ready for anything in Philly. Sugar Hill team ditched the basketball and picked up a Glock, firing it in broad daylight. And Leaf Ward stayed with when drilled. The weapon makes the rapper. Lil Jeff was known as King Draco. He lived and died with that stick. Leaf Ward stayed with the switch, ready for anything in Philly. Sugar Hill team ditched the basketball and picked up a Glock, firing it in broad daylight. And Rondo number 9 brought out a rocket launcher and made the news.
A rocket launcher.
Sugar Hill Team ditched the basketball and picked up a Glock.
Why didn't you find a rocket launcher there?
Firing it in broad daylight. And Rondo number 9 brought out a rocket launcher and made the news. This is drill rappers and their favorite weapons. Sugar Hill Keem and his favorite weapon, the Glock. Before Sugar Hill Keem was gripping Glocks, he was gripping basketballs. Growing up in Sugar Hill, Harlem, Keem spent his early years hooping, thinking the court would be his way out. He realized that ball wasn't taking him nowhere fast. He turned fully to the streets. And in Harlem, once you drop the ball, you better pick up a pole. Keem eventually chose the Glock as his weapon of choice, and he wasn't shy about it either. It became his go-to both in the field and in his music. But the moment that really stamped the Glock as his signature came during one of the wildest incidents in New York ribs. He was walking through the city with Blockwork, who at the time was still his homie. Out of nowhere, a car full of ops pulled up on him. Most people would have ducked, ran, or hid behind something. Not Keem. He pulled out what looked like a Glock pistol and started sending shots at the whip, right in the middle of the street. No hesitation, no cover, just him standing there with that Glock letting off. His ops peeled off, speeding away, while Keem stayed planted like nothing had just happened. That moment alone turned him from just another Harlem rapper into someone you didn't want to catch lacking. The Glock showed up again and again in Keem's music. He rapped about it like it was part of his identity. In one of his most quoted lines from Ice Cream Truck, Keem raps, "She just want to move? I put the gun right in my bitch boot." That wasn't just a bar, it was a lifestyle. Keem kept that Glock so close it was getting passed off to his girl like a purse. In that line, he wasn't talking tough. He was telling you exactly how he moved. But the Glock wasn't just for show. Keem had a real relationship with that firearm. In May 2022, while already on parole, Keem flashed a Glock on IG Live and ended up getting arrested the same day. The NYPD had been watching him closely, and giving them proof on live was all they needed. Keem ended up getting hit for 5 years sentence. That Glock, it might have helped him build his name, but it also helped build his case. And what's crazy is, Keem had already been through it before. Years earlier, he and Blockwork got pulled over in an Uber while riding dirty. Police found a gun, and even though there were no solid snitching charges, the rumor mill went crazy. Keem eventually turned on Blockwork, calling him a snitch. But the whole beef stemmed from that incident with the Glock tucked in the car. It wasn't just his ops or the cops watching either. Keem knew flashing that Glock had consequences, but he didn't care. He treated it like a microphone, something to be seen and heard with. Even after his arrest, fans could tell Keem wasn't moving without that pole. In drill, weapons are extensions of the rapper. For Keem, it was never a .22, never a revolver. It was always
We've seen this symbol before.
RPG. Rondo number 9 ain't just known for his drill bars and 600 ties. He went viral for flexing a weapon that made headlines in the middle of a city already under fire. This wasn't a Glock, it was a rocket launcher. At the peak of his come-up, Rondo posted a photo on Instagram holding what looked like an AT-4 rocket launcher with the caption, "Fooling it with my new baby." This wasn't no cartoon prop. The AT-4 is a Swedish anti-tank weapon used by the U.S. military, designed to destroy armored vehicles in fortified positions. Rondo's version had a blue stripe, which meant it was a training model and not live combat ready. But to the police and the internet, it didn't matter. Chicago police were already monitoring drill rappers closely, especially those linked to gangs. So when a BD from 600 with a growing rap career starts flashing military-grade weaponry online, that set off alarms instantly. Cops didn't just investigate, they went public. Authorities put out an official bulletin warning the community that a gang member was roaming around with a rocket launcher. The flyer had Rondo's face and government name on it like he was a most wanted terrorist. Rondo deleted the post, tried to brush it off like a joke, but the impact had already hit. The image became one of the most infamous moments in Chicago drill history. He never got charged over the RPG, but it made his name trend for something bigger than rap. It blurred the line between internet flexing and real-life consequences. To this day, fans still talk about it like a myth. This raised questions about whether there was a real plug in Chicago handing out rocket launchers to drill rappers. It's unclear if there was one AT-4 passed around for clout, or if more rappers had access to this kind of firepower. In a shot in the chest at 14, survived. Was known for sliding.
That ass was out. I was a guy that ended up living in that first store for 6 months. Oops. You got the cookies fresh. You little capsules.
Because there are 5 a.m. flights in your area, there are drivers in your area.
Summit Series was never just made for mountains. It was made for those who know the value of risk. For 2.5 decades, its innovation has been validated by athlete breakthroughs as they redefine the limits of human potential.
Where do you go from here?
This is 25 years.
I can feel the
God damn! Just scared the crap out of
He
me.
was known for what he slid with. In every city, every crew got that one member who don't care about moving silent. For the Bloodhounds, that was clear. From the moment he popped out in the streets, he branded himself around one thing. Back. Now he's back on the street, and the internet's still trying to figure out how he beat the system. Bottom line, don't let the lyrics fool you. The switch might be flashy in a bar, but it's deadly in court. And unless you're rich, famous, and lawyered up like Zay, it could be a one-way ticket to federal prison. Lil Jeff and his favorite weapon, the Draco, the Bloodhound. Lil Jeff wasn't just known for sliding. He was known for what he slid with. In every city, every crew got that one member who don't care about moving silent. For the Bloodhounds, that was Jeff. From the moment he popped out in the streets, he branded himself around one thing, his Draco. That's why fans and ops alike called him King Draco. It wasn't a name he gave himself. It came from how he moved, how he talked in songs, and how he turned that weapon into a symbol for how reckless he really was. Jeff started pushing the Draco narrative way before his death. In early songs, interviews, and lives, the term Draco came up constantly. He'd flash it on IG Live. He'd name drop it in lyrics. And according to people close to the situation, it wasn't just rap. Jeff actually preferred carrying a mini Draco, the semi-automatic AK variant chambered in 7.62 by 39, because of the look, the feel, and the damage it could do up close. On top of that, it fit the image he was trying to build. Lil Jeff wasn't trying to be slick like some of his Bloodhound homies. He was flashy, wild, loud with everything he did. He wanted his name to be mentioned with fear. The Draco helped with that. On multiple tracks, Jeff references the weapon either directly or with coded lingo. In his song Exotics, Jeff raps, "Draco kickbox will knock him right out his socks." The Draco kickbox line reflects how he would use the weapon and was not about fighting his ops. Jeff was always walking around showing what he had. Multiple clips and photos showed him holding rifles without any attempt to hide them. In another track, he mentioned, "Every time I see an op, I jumped out and clapped, trying to tie him up and hold him for ransom. Shots out the Drake making him start dancing." His right-hand man, Cousin Q50, made a song as tribute to him called King Draco, making it clear he had a reputation for pulling it out often, and not just for show. But before Jeff's passing, he lost his Draco. He said it in the song Lost My Gun, when he rapped, "Blowing the Drac with a smile, I'm having too much fun. Smile turned to a frown when the Drac got bumped. Damn, I lost my gun." During the street altercation caught on camera in 2023, which resulted in Jeff's life being taken. Some say it was because he didn't have his mythical Drake. Reports say Jeff was riding in a striker, hunting down ops in Trap City territory. He was spotted stepping out with what appeared to be a pistol in his black hoodie. He started firing into a home where a Trap City member had ran into, the same slide that ended with Jeff getting hit and killed by Trap City Rob. But witnesses said fit in broad daylight. It was that type of reckless behavior that earned him his name. Jeff didn't just talk Draco. He let it off whenever he felt like proving a point. On the track, Jeff doubles down on his weapon references, rapping. He didn't get a chance to run. Can't say that he tripped, bounced out with 4 sticks, 2 got hit. I done lost my Drake. It passed me the switch. Before they was ops, they was on my... Fans immediately connected this to the Monty and Lil Rob incident. The Bloodhounds had always been known for wild drills, but Jeff took it to another level. Ops and fans alike started saying he was moving like he had nothing to lose. And once the internet caught wind of the nickname King Draco, it stuck permanently. What makes Jeff's obsession with the Draco so real is that it wasn't about clout chasing. This wasn't a situation where a rapper name drops a weapon just to sound scary. Jeff's charges, street reputation, and even the way his enemies talked about him all confirmed that he actually used it. Even some of his ops admitted he was sliding heavy with it. The connection between Lil Jeff and his Draco only grew after his death. When Jeff was killed on June 8, 2024, fans began posting King Draco tributes. Bloodhound members said they'd get back in King Draco fashion. Even Jeff's own father, Jeffrey Harris, made a Facebook post saying, "Clear the streets." That post would spark backlash, with many accusing Harris of encouraging the same violence that got his son. But it also showed how deep this weapon identity ran in the family. Jeff's music career might have been short, but he left behind multiple songs where the Draco was front and center. He didn't glamorize it in the traditional rap way. He used it as a way to establish dominance. In his camp, carrying a Draco meant you were frontlining the war. He wasn't just sliding. He was making noise, catching attention, taking real risks. Jeff leaned into that role, and in doing so, became a symbol of wild Chicago drill energy, loud guns, louder beat, and zero fear of consequences. What makes this connection even more dangerous is that the Draco isn't a subtle weapon. It's loud. It's hard to conceal. It draws heat fast. And Jeff didn't care. He wanted ops to see him coming. He wanted to be the loudest in the room. For drill fans, the story of Lil Jeff and the Draco is a case study in how street weapons become part marked as stolen. They moved in.
Every drill rapper has an op, and in this war, there's no such thing as peace. Bloodhound Lil Jeff hunted down his enemies outside their high school, then went straight.
Do you believe these aren't her real teeth?
Aspen Dental Dentures.
Every drill rapper has an op, and in this war, there's no such thing as peace. Bloodhound Lil Jeff hunted down his enemies outside their high school, then went straight to the... Every drill rapper has an op, and in this war, there's no such thing as peace. Bloodhound Lil Jeff hunted down his enemies outside their high school, then went straight to the studio to rap about it. Glock 9 and Hot Boy had the talent to escape, but instead, they flooded Orlando with so much gunfire that the feds had no choice but to take them all down in a massive RICO case. That's music. One song can start a war, and one disc can get you... Bloodhounds. Rock.
First, right? Oh, okay. Let me go get my box to do it. Screw G. TJ got shot. Ally got shot. Who got shot? Y'all got shot. Nobody. My boy Jackie, because you be getting a belt for this charge. On take this to go off. You just got to do your homework on Scooby G. Why even try to do that? You don't get on the internet and use dumb name for clout. I mean, a whole lot of this and they still walking through the hole. Y'all a couple blocks down from the cheese on bro grade.
Man was shot and killed in Gary, Indiana.
And Tink would not survive. The gun violence had slowed down, with Scrooly dropping only 3 music videos that year. And you know that if he isn't in the studio recording, Scrooly G is back on the block, walking down on his ops day. By 2020, the name Scrooly G would be ringing bells through the city, and everyone was hearing about this new drill. However, it was the range that his sound carried, in my opinion, that would set him apart from the other driller. However, with this newfound buzz, of course would come some hate. And in September 2020, Scrooly G's big homie Kev would be gunned down by his ops outside of a nightclub.
After Scrooly G's ops slid on his block, they would expose that he was nowhere to be found and is ducking them. He would respond and say this.
When I go out of town, folks, I don't got a tick. When I come back, we play a ball.
You're from Gary, Indiana, you dirty as hell. You're from Gary, Indiana, you dirty as hell and stink out there. I'm ready to down there. Shit, I want y'all to know that. Listen very closely. I don't give a like you do.
What's wrong with you? Then you just break your legs, you ain't gonna be able to run nobody down. Clown that swag, yo, with Mexican music, Puerto Rican music. On my dead cousin, this on me at all times. Any twice my size, once my size, bro, you walk up on me, look at me wrong, anything. I guarantee you I'll face your ass where we at, man. On my dead cousin, I guarantee you I'll leave your ass right where you at, man. On bro grade.
You're from Gary, Indiana, you dirty as hell.
You said you're from Gary.
Say, and turn it up.
Watch Scrooly G's reaction when he gets asked about his friend that he allegedly unalived on accident while with his eyes closed on a drill. What we got?
Yeah, like, I don't really want to talk about that. Like,
This guy.
Billy and Swag, man, I ain't wanna do a song, I'm gonna slap the shit out Billy. Swag, your ass a bitch looking like type nigga to go throw a party at Diddy. Niggas said everybody who just ducked done died, but all these killers still living. Let them niggas just roam the streets just long enough till they went to prison. That ain't no disrespect to dog, I'm just showing the niggas who diss this bitch. Niggas in the zone, I had the base. Bring your bitch ass back to the trenches. Them dudes tough on interviews for clout, but ain't kill shit for they niggas. Niggas on YouTube talking about street shit, I think yellow snitching. Niggas ain't been in the rack till the niggas come back, drop low, I'll pull up. Nigga from 73rd, not 63rd. Yellow Joe wanted attention. Soon as we got off the phone, he did a vlog. Oh, that nigga be true. Catch a nigga riding on the E-way, doing like TJ Blue on Saturday. Billy and Swag, man, I ain't wanna do a song, I'll come slap the shit out Billy. Swag, your ass a bitch looking like type nigga to go throw a party at Diddy. Niggas said everybody who just ducked done died, but all this killers still living.
those dumbass down the Uber right. Those dumbass down the Uber right.
I said, been doing like that. Man, y'all seen the footage, right? Y'all seen how they did them, right? If I was dissing, I would have said 63rd, GDK. Did I say anything and go overboard, right? No. So it was cool when I was saying this is what I couldn't wait to get on camera and say, God, his face like Emmett Till. That's a child. That was about racist white man. No disrespect. Why I ain't get no backlash?
Scrooly G on this one. King Yellow Star Beware, Indiana,
Niggas on YouTube talking about street shit. I think yellow snitching. Nigga from 73rd, not 63rd. Yellow Joe wanted attention. Soon as we got off the phone, he did vlog. Oh, that nigga be true. I heard fake one, J got a fat ass shot, must stop, we ain't gon' know. JD knew it was over when they bounced out on me. Please open the door. Alright, I don't know who the fuck's Lil Steve, that nigga, tell nigga come to the L right now. We in front of this bitch right now with 10 hoes. We chase Tata down the blocks for years, we pop them in the brothers. Niggas doing interviews on the safe ass blocks, and niggas know we ain't know. Work from the trenches, did that vlog, so when we catch him, I'm touching his toe. Lame ass nigga putting bitch on the smoke on grandma, don't care, we still gon' go. I know a nigga dead, he died, hit 80 times, son, still ain't roll. Mama got his dumb ass shot in the leg and crashed into a pole. Alright, I come.
Smoothie G responds to his op saying they chased him down and had him running.
I saw some people who probably.
How Lil Tay became the most feared rapper in Gary, Indiana. Tay, Screw Lee G's right hand. Known across Gary, Indiana, not just for his music, but for the smoke that comes with it. Tay is known to be one of his gang, aka RGE's, most valued player, rumored to be up between 7 to 10 hats. One of Tay's most talked about moments came from an incident at a local gas station. An op tried to reach, but couldn't up it fast enough. He didn't make it. His name? Smitty. And that situation been haunting the streets ever since.
About bodies, they talk about fathers, they talk about robbing, they talk about stories. So they on me, they talk for nothing. Not just in stone on the back for the money. Call them the real. Talk about pushing out no pressure, bitch, that's why I got this block. Told the bitch I got a nigga, watch me finna be on top. Then I see some boy fresh, till I had that shit a lot. We was 1800, think I'm about to switch it to the block. We the reason niggas out of trying to fix shit they not. Listen, I'm loving up, pushing out no pressure, bitch, that's why I got this block. Told the bitch I got a nigga, watch me finna be on top.
One thing.
This
This is the story.
Somebody got killed 2 months ago in Gary, Indiana.
Not of Gary or police or.
A 9-year-old was killed 2 days ago.
Not of Gary. Not of Gary or police are investigating a shooting that killed a 9-year-old child. Police said, not of Gary or police are investigating a shooting.
Yeah, we live in the trenches, dude.
That killed a 9-year-old child.
Police
officers responded to a home in the 400 block of Madison Street around 6:30 last night after someone called 911 but hung up. Before they arrived, they got a separate.
No, it's Madison.
Not of Gary, where police are investigating a shooting that killed a 9-year-old child.
Police say officers responded to a home in the 400 block of Madison Street around 6:30 last night after someone called 911 but hung up.
That's on 40th.
Somebody got killed.
That's like,
Mom said, Epinosis gas.
when was this? 3 weeks ago?
This was 2 days ago.
Oh, 2 days ago. Got killed by about 2 blocks.
By a relative. Detectives are still trying to figure out exactly what happened and say the incident underscores the importance of proper gun storage.
Gary Indiana started back killing again. This Chicago.
He deserves the best. Performance, durability, affordability. Only.
As well here,
That's why I was helicopter.
his neighbors. The neighbors just a short while ago, and one of them identified the person who was shot and killed by police officers as one of his neighbors.
This was his.
Oh, well, the dog is going downstairs. Develop.
And now begin with that fatal shooting out. Hi, Marie, that massive police scene that you saw just a few hours ago.
But they say Gary Indiana got the most firing. That's cap. Chicago got the most firing. Gary, I mean, we do get the game wars from Gary. Also, man, I bet that dude killed Fully on purpose. AJ, you bet that dude killed Fully on purpose? You get your graduate out of 8th grade. You killed that dude on purpose.
For those that don't know about me, I am a Navy veteran.
The Gary police fatally shoot the subject of a search warrant this morning. Police say the person engaged officers with a gun and demonstrated anything.
Gary is considered one of the most dangerous cities in the U.S. due to its high rates of violent crime. This is largely attributed to decades of economic decline following the collapse of the steel.
Gary got the most violence.
Now this is the hood breakdown of BDG. BDG consists of starters BDG Day, who have
Chipotle just dropped Bill Gates Chipotle.
Chicago.
A presence. Nightingale isn't far.
This a date party making money. Ops.
And the exam Garfield. One day, exam so Garfield.
Yeah, so sweet.
Right now, now, Gary police are investigating a deadly shooting outside the Village Shopping Center. Just before 4 this morning, 2 people inside an SUV were found with several gunshot wounds. Police believe that the shooting happened at this intersection here.
My flashlight burned the dark stuff away. It was covering another page.
The fuse was in place. Saga stepped into the witch's hut. Inside, a bright light. There were objects that stood out to Saga, as if the light had manifested them.
The witch's hut. Okay. I trust the pages to lead me to the overlap.
That's good sense. But it is very bright out here.
Anderson, thought I saw something in the woods. Probably just digging, but I'm gonna check it out.
Okay. I found another page. Following up on a lead. Keep checking in.
Roger.
Is that worked out so well last night? I was thinking.
Light is the key. To stay safe. But for something more to be revealed as well.
Hey. Are there...
I need to find the witch's hut.
EJ, which was...
I know Nightingale is somewhere around Cauldron Lake.
Was a threshold. This place and this place. You're in over your head.
Which was...
Next stop.
Okay.
Paris Street Station.
The threshold. Like a doorway. Leading to Nightingale. It's somehow connected to a tree. Which is Leo?
Oh shit, I can't even see the game.